Give you a
Oh,
co-host. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from all the way to Toronto. Everywhere you are watching and you're going to watch after, it's like a warm welcome because it's like this is a season for celebrating. And who we are going to celebrate, I'm going to tell you in a minute. But like first, I will introduce myself. My name is Samra. I'm from India. And now 35 years I'm in Canada. And where like today's meeting, like the first word when we are saying is networking marketing, we're going to come to that side. And the first thing first, I met like so many wonderful people in my journey. I believe everything is a network, but if you understand and focus properly. But like mostly people, they have like a wrong era about networking marketing too. We will ask a question about like that Dave is very successful man, like how I met, I can say proudly is like a brother. Like as soon as before even like seeing him just on social media, I can say proudly he's a brother. And that family is an example setting for all around the globe how much success he have and how much believe he in the company he is, because that's like in your hand, you choose who I am. I'm a mother, I'm a teacher, I'm a daughter, I'm a grandmother, and proudly I can say I'm a networker. What is a networking means? This is a business model. Everything in your life is a model, like we get from our family or we get from community or we get from society, and depend how you adopt. That's like your mindset. How you gonna develop your skill set, that's like you. And now I'm gonna introduce and mentor our Mentor Monday call networking. I want everybody give like applause to like our mentor or our brother, bigger brother, Dave Daughtrey. Where's he? Let's see, we will ask him what is a networking marketing and how we can do it. Dave, welcome for today's floor.
thank you, Cowinder. Thank you for that introduction. That was awesome. I love how you talked about being able to adapt. And that's really what I feel makes this business so great. We're going to get into network marketing today and talk about why this business model is so amazing, so good, if you let it. In other words, if you can learn to adapt and make some changes of progress, development, all these things. And the reality is that's what success is in anything, whether it's in sports, music, or the arts, or some other academic, be it engineering or whatever it is in life that you try to achieve. Success is about development, growth, productivity. All right. But in order for that to happen, you have to adapt. All right. So life is about adapting, and it's also cyclical. Things go in cycles. And I've had 42 years now to observe and watch this industry of network marketing. I got involved in the early 80s, 1980s. And so I've seen the cycles that we've gone through. When I joined this company For Life in 1998, think about that. I'm in my 26th year now with the same company and made a lot of money and have a lot of people that have made a lot of money. All right. But when I joined in 1998, there were things back then that did not exist that exist today. And therefore, it basically caused, if you will, a bit of a shakeup, a bit of people trying some new things, which is wonderful. But now I'm observing things are coming kind of full circle again, back to traditional networking. I'm going to get into that more. But what I mean by this cycle I'm talking about is 1998, there was no Google, there was no Facebook, no Instagram, no TikTok, no Skype, no Zoom, none of this stuff. The internet was just starting. In fact, Hotmail was basically all there was. So what happened? All of a sudden, people got caught up first in the .com. I don't know if you guys remember the whole .com thing. Everybody thought we're going to get rich having a .com. Well, that's not going to get you rich. Now, there are a few people that did, get involved and take it. They took advantage of the internet startup, and they did well. And that's great. That's all part of development, part of these cycles we talk about. But if you think about it, do you know anybody that got rich on .com? I don't, honestly. Then came some of the social media. First, it was MySpace. Y'all remember MySpace? Did anybody have MySpace? I didn't have MySpace. And then who took over was Facebook. They killed MySpace. All right. And same thing with Skype. Y'all remember Skype? Skype still exists. But what's more popular than Skype? WhatsApp. How many of you have WhatsApp? I don't use Skype. So things come and go. All right. Some succeed, some don't. With social media, everybody thought, I'm going to get on YouTube. I'm going to get on YouTube. I'm going to get on Facebook. I'm going to start just putting stuff out there like a big sign on the side of the road. And everyone's going to see it. And they're going to come running and knocking my door down, and I'm going to get rich. How many of you know someone that's gotten rich off of Facebook or social media? I don't personally, but there are some influencers. There are, you can go in there and you can look. So-and-so's got, 1.7 million followers on TikTok or on Facebook or whatever. And that's great. But here's what's happening. People have gotten burnt out on all of the stuff that's out there on the internet with all, people just throwing stuff out there. You got an influencer that likes this product and someone likes that product, and you don't know who to believe and who to trust anymore. So what's happening is things are coming back now to networking, traditional networking, meaning relationships. And frankly, I've been doing this for 42 years, and I'm extremely grateful for the relationships that I have with the people that I have, because it's the relationships, the bonding that keeps people involved. As long as we have a company that is real, first of all. I had somebody tell me last week, they said, Dave, people go chasing what they think is green grass. And they get over to that green grass and they realize it's artificial grass. No matter how much they water it, no matter how much sunshine they put on it, no matter how much they fertilize it and give it love, it doesn't grow because it's artificial. And there's a lot of artificial grass out there, people throwing stuff out there. So it's kind of confusing between the social media and then network marketing. A lot of people jump into things, they get so excited about it. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, they're telling people about it. And they don't know much about what they're doing. They just got involved because they made an emotional decision getting involved in something. And then that company that they got involved with goes down. So as long as we have something that's real, and that's what makes For Life so different than other companies. They're real. What do I mean by real? Our products are based on real, documented science, clinical studies, clinical trials, third-party validation, whether it's through universities, pharmaceutical companies. So everything that comes to the table that we consume from For Life has been through rigorous testing and validation so that we can receive it. Some products take up to a decade to get to us. Gold Factor took a long time for us to finally have that product after it went through all the testing and even some clinical studies. So, real company with real products. Another thing, what I mean about real company, a lot of companies, they know when they start up that chances of them making it or being a legacy company is slim to none. We're talking about network marketing today. I want to give you a fact. We're going to get into some stories because stories, that's what people get emotional over, stories. But let me give you a fact. One, and please remember this is important. One in 100 companies, I'll say it again, 1 in 100 companies survive past 10 years in our industry. Most of them crash and burn within 10 years. Now, why? There's a lot of reasons why. You have to understand that in network marketing, it is a partnership between you or the affiliates and corporate, the company. It's a partnership with two sides. If one side doesn't do their part, it crashes. It could be that the company doesn't do their part simply because they can't provide the product on time. They can't pay the distributors on time. Maybe they miscalculated their budget and they're overpaying distributors because they made all these claims that we're going to pay this much money, and everybody got excited and joined, and the company realized, uh-oh, we got too many bills. We can't pay the distributors that much. And so they start trimming away from the pay plan, taking away from the distributors. And then the distributors get upset and they start to leave. Now the company can't pay their bills even more, and it goes down. I've seen it time and time again, many times. So back to real company, For Life is a company that's been 25 years now of history with the same people running it from the top. The same. Why is that? How is that? Because they knew what they were doing when they started. They're conservative, meaning that they don't go out and do things knowing that it could cause financial problems for us. We're debt free. For Life doesn't owe one penny, one shilling, one rand, one peso to anybody. And they manufacture their own products. Now, some of them go through a third party. You know, there are some products that might, it could be, well, actually, we do our powders, we do our liquids, we do our encapsulations. So I'm not sure which ones it could be, but there might be skincare. It could be possible because that's manufactured in Korea. But the point is, For Life has gotten to the point now that they control everything, even the app, the cell phone app that we all get to use. It's an amazing app. Guess who wrote the software and continues to write the software for it? For Life. Andy Weeks. He's the head of IT. I was just with him a few weeks ago in Costa Rica talking to him. I love that guy. He's a genius. He works at For Life, and all the internet, you know, the web design, the website, the app that we have, it's all in-house. We're a real company, you guys. So when you have a real company that manufactures real products with real people, you've got a legacy company. And just real quick, we're talking stories a little bit. I'm going to share with some of my story. When I heard about this product transfer factor, I was suffering from Crohn's disease. It's a digestive disorder. And I was extremely frustrated because it's sad when you have a mind, you know, in your 30s, which is supposed to be a time of tremendous, you know, productivity and progress in life in your 30s, from 30 years old to 38 years old, I thought I was going to die. I was tremendously ill, just physically. My mind was sharp. And it's sad when you have a mind that's like, go, 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 go. Let's go, Dave. Come on. You're an entrepreneur. You're a man of success. But your body says, can't do it. I don't have the strength. Now, how did I overcome that? Well, a friend of mine, first of all, educated me about Crohn's disease being a autoimmune disease. It wasn't caused by any bacteria or virus or anything like that. It was my immune system dysfunctioning, my immune system being overly active when it needed to rest. Therefore, it's causing fatigue, and the weakest part or the weakest system of my body was being affected the most, which in my case was my digestive system. It could be something else. It could be anything from your respiratory system, your cardiovascular system, reproductive system. For me, it was my digestive system with this autoimmune problem I had. Well, a gentleman educated me about autoimmunity back in 1993. And he told me some things I could try. His name was Dr. Calvin McCausland. Well, we hadn't talked for 5 years. It's amazing how something can happen. It can fall into your lap, but you have to be ready for it. One day, I get a knock at my door, my apartment I was living in. I was broke. I was sick. I'd been through a divorce, lost everything, had no car, no money, couldn't even afford the $400 deposit, to pay for a first month's rent in this little studio. It was a dump, frankly, but at least it was a roof over my head. Sleeping on the floor, had no furniture. This is the truth, you guys. And I got a knock on the door. I got an envelope with a bottle of this product right here. Transfer Factor Classic. Well, I opened the bottle, looked at the capsules, called Dr. McCausland. I said, what is this stuff? Because there was a letter, but the letter was really an invitation to look further. When someone who you trust, someone who you believe in, tells you about something, you tend to listen. And that's one of the challenges a lot of people have, is they may not have the influence, the credibility, and therefore, or it could even be up here in your head, that you think you don't have the influence or credibility. Because if you have the knowledge, knowledge is power. All right. Well, Dr. McCausland, I admired the guy because he's a genius scientist, formulator, doctor, great man. He's done things all around the world. So yeah, I listened to him when he says, Dave, try this. I started using the product in September of 1998. Internet wasn't really going yet. I mean, it existed, but there was, you couldn't do much research on the internet. So I just said, Dr. McCausland, what can you send me by fax to read? And I went down to a place called Kinko's here, and they had a fax machine. You pay 10 cents a page. And he faxed me some pages, and I read. I was interested in knowing what this transfer factor stuff was. The more I learned about it, the more fascinated I became. And you know what? I didn't really think much about it because in the past, there's vitamins and minerals and herbs and products that boost the immune system, strengthen the immune system. But there's nothing that educated the immune system. And when you think about it, how does your immune system know whether there is a threat or a disease in your body or you're surrounded by a threat? How does your immune system know? The only way it knows is if it's smart, if it can identify or recognize. If it can't recognize a threat, guess what happens? The threat could win the war. And that's what happened with COVID. How many people died of COVID? Why did they die of COVID? They died because they had a very slow immune response to it. Now, those that had immune systems that were strong and educated identified the threat quickly. And in some cases, they didn't even know they got COVID. It's like, no big deal. And others it killed. So if you can educate the immune system, then you can react, or you can have what's called an immune response. You can respond to that threat and eliminate it. So as I read this material in 1998, I thought, wow, everybody needs this product. Everybody. But how do we educate people about it? So I learned a bit more, and I got excited about the potential of taking this to the world. Something unique, something new that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in vitamins, minerals, herbs, none of that. And so I told Gabby, she was my girlfriend at the time. I said, Gabby, this product, I'm falling in love with it. It's now been over a month I've been taking it. My strength has come back. I don't have the fatigue I had. My diet has come back. I want to eat food. Now, I'm still a little bit afraid of what to eat. I couldn't eat nuts before because nuts would just tear me up, and I couldn't eat certain meat. In fact, I had to blend a lot of stuff into liquids. But I was feeling stronger, just overall better. And so I said, you know what? I want to go to Utah. I want to meet the man behind this company because I've been doing this network marketing stuff for almost 18 years. And I've been through ups and downs. When you're on top, it's amazing. The view's a lot better on top and you make a lot more money when you're on top. But when you're down, it's not so good. It's downright depressing when you join a company and you work hard and you put your life into it and you bring people and you're working with those people and the company goes down. And now you got to explain to the people why, what happened, what went wrong. And the people are upset, never going to do network marketing again. That's a bunch of garbage. I hate it. Nobody blames himself. Nobody says, well, let's see, I didn't really investigate the company, don't know much about it, really don't know much about the product. I just did it because you told me to. You're to blame. It's your fault. All right. So I didn't want to go through that again. So I borrowed the money. Gabby bought her own ticket. We went to Utah and met the founder, David Lisenby. There's moments in life when you make a decision, and that decision causes you to go on a different path in life. That happened on October 20, 1998, for me, my family, and many of you, frankly. You're here today listening to me because that decision I made in 1998, isn't that? It's pretty cool. All right. But the point is this: I had to feel good about this company. I just told you we're a real company. I didn't know that back in 1998. I had a lot of questions. And I had two main questions for our founder, David Lisenby. Number one, what is your exit strategy? Nobody, excuse me, no smart business person starts a business and invests everything they have into it without thinking ahead. If you did, I don't want to be with you because you're going to crash and burn because you got no plan. So I asked him, what's your plan? What is your exit strategy? Are you going to sell this company? And right away he said, no, don't want to sell it. I'm not doing this to sell a company. Nice. I like that answer. Okay. Do you plan on taking the company public? Because we don't fare well. The network marketing companies don't do well in the public domain where people can buy stock because you lose control. And guess who gets rich? At some point, when the founder takes it public, he makes millions of dollars in the IPO. It's called initial public offering. And what happens to us? We lose control. Everything changes because now it becomes about how much profit is being made for the shareholders. Don't want that either. I said, you going to do that? He said, no. Okay, what are you going to do? One word that he said got me excited. I want to build a legacy. I want to take transfer factor to the world, take transfer factor to the whole world. And then as we started doing that, the mission statement changed a little bit to together building people. It's about people through taking transfer factor to the world. I like that, building a legacy. I was just with David Lisenby a few weeks ago in Costa Rica, and he said his vision has never been more clear as to what we're doing with For Life. That excites me. We've got a tremendous future. We've got a real company, a debt-free company, multinational company. You can live on an island in the middle of the Caribbean, Jillian. You can live anywhere in the world and build your network as long as you can communicate with people. For Life's all over the world with offices, all right, and even emerging markets like Africa, from Kenya, East Africa to South Africa, all right, multinational, unique products based on science, all right. So we've got a real company with real products. So now that you've got that, let's talk about the partnership. What makes this business of networking so awesome? Number one, you have all of the benefits of owning your own business, but you don't have the responsibilities or the risk of owning a traditional business. This is important to remember, you guys. Now, my goal for 2024, so y'all know, is to be a better upline, a better coach, a better mentor. And one of the ways I'm going to do that is through a new site I'm creating called Upline Pro, which is going to be like Netflix, series of educational videos. Most of them are going to be shorts, not very long. All right. With some documents that you can download and read and learn from. All right. But it's important to understand that this is a partnership between the company and you. You get all the benefits, all the rewards of having your own business, but you don't have the risks and you don't have the responsibility. That falls on this side of the partnership. Corporate. What is their responsibility? Number one, make sure they run a fiscally sound company. Don't get into a bunch of debt. Tupperware. Earl Tupper is probably rolling over in his grave right now because of the way that company was managed. They're in bankruptcy. Been around since 1938. Why? How'd that happen? We talked about cycles, right? Well, we are in a very challenging time of the cycle of economics globally. People are struggling. Countries are struggling. There's wars going on. We're in a tremendous crisis economically around the world. Companies are going down because of that. All right. So run a fiscally sound company. That's what David Lisenby does. We're debt free, doesn't owe a penny to anybody. So if all the network company marketing companies started going down, which some of them already have, we'd still be standing because we don't owe any money to anybody. That's number one. Number two, always stay on the cutting edge. Always be innovative. Always be thinking ahead, looking ahead. That's what our scientific team does. They'll be introducing some new products. In fact, I've got a call. I think it's next week. I have a call with 4Life, and they're going to unveil. I have to sign an NDA though, so I can't tell you guys until it comes out. It's for platinums only to learn about the new product they're going to be launching at convention in a few months. They're always planning ahead, and sometimes it takes years. We're going to learn about something that they probably started 2, 3, 4 years ago. Always thinking ahead to bring us products based on science. Third, expand. Be able to have the knowledge and experience to expand internationally. Pay us on time. All right. Patent your technology, patent your products. All right. To keep, so that we are protected and people can't just copy what we're doing. All right. Then there's the part of, for the company, they do all the shipping, they do all the processing of payments. They have the employees, over 1,000 of them now. They do all that stuff. You don't have to. Isn't that wonderful? You get to have your own business, and all these other people do all that work for you. What would it cost you to have 1,000 employees? What would it cost you to have rent to pay all around the world, overhead expenses, millions of dollars a month, millions? You don't have to do any of that stuff. So now let's talk about our side. For that side to operate, we have to do our part, you guys. And that's what makes this partnership so important, is understanding what our role is. Grow, develop, and yes, sell. Some people will go out and sell some bottles of Transfer Factor, and that's all they will do. That's great. I've got people all around the world that make an extra few $100s a month just selling product. I love them. They're wonderful. Then you're going to have way on the opposite end of the spectrum, the people that want to build an empire. They want to be professional, successful networkers by developing people, developing relationships, developing friendships. All right. And they work hard at it and they become platinum or gold. Gabby and I, we have over 200 millionaires on our team now, 210 to be exact. And it might even be 211 as of last month. But the point is, how did these people get to be millionaires? They chose to build people, not just sell bottles. But in the journey of building people, they did sell bottles. But if you think about it, how are you going to move more bottles? If you had 1,000 people in your network around the world, and they're all qualifying with their 100 life points using at least, a bottle of Transfer Factor, maybe a Right Start, maybe a Gold Factor, maybe a Bellevue, Milpro, Cardio, Skincare, whatever they're using 100 life points. If you had 1,000 people qualifying each month, and of those 1,000 people qualifying, 10% of them were building the business, talking to people. You got a good network going now. And that's what this is about when it comes to networking. So my concept of networking, I talk to people. I don't know what's going to happen. They might become just a customer. Their contribution might be buying one bottle of product and that's all they ever do, nothing more. It's okay. It's a contribution. Or it might be them getting in, sponsoring a few people. That happened to one of the ladies that we sponsored in Los Angeles here. She's Korean. She got in and started sponsoring people her first week, sponsored probably 6, 7 people. A couple of them sponsored a person, and that's it. It's okay. We're actually gonna be meeting her this coming weekend here in San Diego, and getting with her and talking to her and seeing what we can do to help her. Okay, but she made a contribution. Then there are those that make a contribution by becoming maybe builder or diamond. She actually became builder, almost diamond. Diamond, presidential diamond, bronze. Those are all more substantial contributions to you or someone's business and for life. All right. So network marketing is about people. It's about building a community, a family, a team. All right. But you have to understand your responsibility and then also the company's responsibility. I like to make sure the company's doing their job too. Every now and then, I meet and talk with corporate fairly often, and they're great. They're awesome at doing their part, but they expect us to do our part. Okay, so I'm going to ask you all a question. If for life, in order to continue to exist, if it depended on you and your production, your productivity, your progress, your development, if it depended on you alone, would this company make it? Would it survive? Ask yourself that question. I did back in 1998. And sure, I felt a big weight on my shoulder, like I got to make this happen. And yes, there was a time when David Lisenby called us and said, I need you to come to Utah. He even paid for the trip, sat us down and said, we got bills to pay. I'm paying it out of my pocket right now. If we don't turn this around, we may not make it. I don't know how long I can continue to pay out of my own pocket. I came back home that day after that trip, and I told Gabby, we cannot fail. We cannot let this company go down. And we dug deep and went to work. And I'm telling you guys, we worked our butts off, looking for people, talking to people, becoming better presenters, better messengers, better influencers. And here we are today now. I mean, our business, we're doing $1 million a day of business, you see? But it didn't start that way, all right? And every one of you listening right now, progress is cyclical, it goes through cycles. You have to embrace it all. So network marketing, you have to embrace the process. The process includes all 4 seasons. And I understand those of you that are on the equator, all right, it's kind of fun listening to. I think the equator runs through Kenya, all right? It certainly runs through Ecuador. That's why it's called Ecuador. It's equator in Spanish, all right? Claudia was just there at the equator, at actually 0. But the point is this. There's 4 seasons. You've got spring and summer, where everything is just beautiful and awesome. Spring is in the air, you know? But then there's also fall and winter, where things might not seem so blue sky all the time. It's okay. It's what you make it, you see? And that is part of the process and part of your progress and part of your development is battling through those times of winter where it might seem a bit drab or dreary for, I'm talking to 10 people and everyone's attacking me. They said network marketing doesn't work. Well, you know what? Why does it work for some and not for others? Okay. So you have to embrace and fall in love with the process, because here's what happens when you do. You change. You literally go through changes. You adapt and you grow and you develop. You learn skill, like Kuwinder, listening to you right now in this presentation you did. In my mind, I'm thinking, wow, go girl. When she's talking about networking and adapting and this business model, life is full of different models. Network marketing is simply a business model. It's a model where you get all the benefits, all the rewards of having your business, but not the risks and not the responsibility. If you do your part, if you allow yourself to grow, to develop, to become better. And sometimes that can be painful, you guys. And here's why it can be painful, because you're surrounded by people who view you one particular way. They see you through their lenses. They know you. They know whether you're shy. They know whether you're extroverted, introverted, successful in business, what you do. And the funny thing is, your income will match, closely match, the 5 people that you associate with the most on a regular basis. Your income's match. You're very close, right? So, what do you have to do? You break the mold. That's why when you talk to somebody, and forgive me, I'm going to talk about classes, but it's the reality of life. It's the reality of this world we live in. There's classes. There's a lower class, middle class, and upper class. And within those classes, there's even some subclasses. If you're talking to someone who is at the lower end of lower class, guess what? The first thing they're going to tell you is, don't have any money. It's expensive. Can't afford it. And if you can influence them and even convince them to go find the money and they buy some product and they join, guess who their people that they associate with are? People in that same class. The chances of them knowing someone in an upper class that they relate to is slim. That's possible, but it's slim. So now they're going to come to you and say, I talked to all these people and they all say it's expensive. No one has money. That's because you're at the lower end of the totem pole, the lower end, the bottom of the food chain. So what do? You've got to get that person to adapt and to learn how to associate and communicate with people a little bit higher up the food chain. You see, how do they do that? You out there in the world, you can associate with people. You go places, whether it's Chamber of Commerce's, whether it's seminars you go to learn something, church. There's all kinds of social groups out there. You start associating with people a little bit higher class and get comfortable with it. All right. So understanding this is part of networking, the development, the growth part. For me, when it comes to prospecting, my favorite prospect is someone who's in the middle class that has either lost a job because of the economy and they're sick and tired of doing the same old thing and now they're open for some change. So therefore they know people in that class, they associate with the middle class. So they can get in for life and talk to people and they're going to sell some products to people because that's what they associate with in that class. They've got some little bit of money. And there might be other people that they know that are sick and tired of the work that they do, the job they have, the 9 to 5 or 7 to whatever wherever country you live in and your schedule is. Maybe riding the bus to work all the time or sitting in traffic all the time. They're just tired of that. And they want some freedom. They want the benefits that we talked about of this business model without the responsibility and risk. We got it for you. Great option. So that middle class person is a great prospect. If they've lost a job, I hate to say that, but the truth is we do very well, you guys, during economic crisis. Why? Because people start looking. They've lost jobs, their businesses have gone down, things have taken a downturn. So now they gotta survive. So they start looking for something. This is a wonderful option for them. You see, so that they never have to find themselves with that problem again if they will build a network with us. So understanding that that middle class is a great prospect. Upper class, every now and then you'll find someone that is an upper class. And I've got a guy in Brazil. He was the president of HSBC. You guys heard of HSBC Bank? He was the president of HSBC Brazil. His wife is an actress. In fact, I can show you the picture in a minute here. Why would she, being an actress, she's been acting since she was a child, very much an influencer. Why would they jump into For Life and start building this business? They love the business model and they like helping people. Not everyone becomes the president of a bank. Not everyone becomes an actress. So therefore, they feel they can help people better their lives through our products, through our business model. So again, let me run through some hot bullets real quick, and I'm going to start sharing.
Dave, we have a
Yep.
10 more minutes. Thank you very much. Everybody in the meeting, just send some love. And you will see, this is like in the starting, I will say, networking is a model. It's a person to person. It's a family. You can see Dave's energy. He's like I think always it's a mind blown for me, like waking me up. But like who gonna do their part? He said responsibility. He used the word today is a responsibility. Who's the responsible? Us. And when we are saying like it's today is in my mind, I gonna like say I always learn when I'm doing something new. Dave's ABC. Learn first ABC. And sometime in my head always going, why put like a in a starting? We need a action. That's like the first word, right? But like Dave always say, until you are not taking action or you declare or this is your desire, like guys, like God believe in us. He sent us here for a reason to make a change. But who gonna make this change? When we are saying society, mostly day by day we all learning. Who's holding us most of the time? Society. We are saying, oh, I did this, then this person gonna do this. They're never gonna pay your bills. You have to pay it. When we are saying even education, I have a master degree, I have a teaching job, I have this job, that job. That's like my tag. If my breath go away today, the job is going too. That's the one biggest thing. When I fell in a networking marketing, when I came a mom for 5 kids, I don't have any option. I came in Canada, new country, new environment. When I fell in a networking marketing, 18 year proudly I can say I raised my 5 kids, 2 set of twins, give them a fully education. 18 years I can do whatever I want. Since I'm in a for life since 2015, lots of people they're gonna say like I'm still diamond, but how much I learn about my body and my family and my kids. Now I'm a grandmother. I can day by day what I'm learning, I say proudly today I'm coming from an oncology doctor. I took my dad for doctor's appointment where doctor asked me, why are you asking that kind of silly question? I said, doctor, you have a allopathy, I have a naturopathy, God-given house information. He said, like, what you are talking about? I tell about like transfer factor. I said, you are thinking injection did this, but my mind saying what I'm doing for my dad, I totally changed. I get like wisdom from Dr. Rani's classes, juices. This is like your wake up things, immune system, educate your system. Now the things are stable. Like he said, like it's growing this speed, but like in a 5 weeks, proudly I can say is unstable. And the asking questions and learning all the information. I'm saying I'm not a doctor, but God given information. God give us a brain. God give us a wisdom to change, but we have to take that action. Look at Dave's story, 1998. He take a action first, like he want a change. He take a action to flew to a Salt Lake City. And even like in myself, like taking a risk, I'm saying this business is not a risk. Even your life is a risk. You don't know when it's last breath, but we have to be brave. We gonna make this change perfectly with the perfect people. We are in a journey, and listen his word. First convention when I go, never gonna go from my heart. He said together building people. Guys, we all have a information, we all have a degrees, we done plenty of jobs. Think about the person beside you or sideways or in front of you. When they tell we're gonna work together and build together, this is like the big word. But think and take Dave's word and think about one time again and scan yourself, who you talking, where you are hanging around, where you want to be a change. This is for all about you. It's a globally change, and everything is a network. Doesn't matter which platform you use, even like from home to your own life, it's a network. You grow. One day you leave this earth, live with the plenty of legacy. How David listen these like a wealth. Dave, you're gonna share something again. You shared your screen.
Yeah, I want to basically real quick just hit some of the bullets on the benefits risk, and I'm going to share my phone to show a couple of stories real quick. But thank you, Cowinder. Let's run through real quick. I want everyone to be able to memorize what are some of the greatest benefits of this business. It's a turnkey system. You get your own website. You have your own cell phone application. It's got a contact relationship manager in there where you can categorize all the contacts in your phone. Everyone you talk to, are they a potential affiliate, potential customer of yours? Are they not interested? And it remembers all that. You categorize your people. You can follow up with your people. You can go back and say, let me see, who are all the people I talked to before that were not interested? And you hit that, and we'll go through that this month as well. But you hit that, not interested icon, and all the people you categorize as not interested, you can go through and review them. Timing is everything. Getting someone at the right time. We talked about that, right? Right now, things have been in a downturn economically, so the timing is really good for us. Low investment. I talk to people all the time about starting their own business. You're talking about spending, $300 or less to start your own business. All right. Working with a team of people, investing in yourself. All right. You don't have to, no overhead expenses. You don't have to buy inventories. You don't have to process payments, pay commissions, have employees, office rents, nothing. So very low investment and very low monthly investment. Working with a team of like-minded people, that's critical. Teamwork, y'all heard that. Teamwork makes the dream work. Earn while you learn. You start making money by learning, building the business, and you earn while you're learning and developing, growing. We talked a lot today about development, growing, progress, productivity, and get paid for what you start. That's probably one of the biggest benefits of this. We all age. This year of 2023, we've lost two platinums that have died, passed away. One from old age, the other one had an extra 18 years of his life added by having a liver transplant, Ray Muir. He had Hep C before he even joined For Life. For Life gave him an extra 18 years of life, maybe more than that, probably 20 years, to be honest with you. And he passed away in 2023. Left his wife with probably close to a $2 million a month income because of his network. Bonnie Taylor passed away, platinum. She left her family, Kurt, her son, probably $1 million a year income. The point is, you build something and get paid for what you start. Get paid months and years and decades down the road for your efforts today. All right. Now I want to share my phone with you, just share a couple of stories. I know I was going to actually see if anybody here wanted to share a story. So if you do, think about it. You raise your hand if you would like to share a story. But here's a story of a man in the Dominican Republic. This was shared with me recently. Let me get back to sharing my screen here. This guy had pancreatic cancer. Okay, y'all should see my cell phone here in just a second. Pancreatic cancer, and if you take a look at him here, can y'all see him?
Yes.
All right. Well, not doing very well, obviously. All right. And I'm sure fairly close to death. And he was introduced to transfer factor. Well, again, being able to identify a threat and then mounting, hopefully, an immune response, get your immune system back in order, can bring you back to health. So that gentleman, here he is. Now,
Uh, Dave, we have a hand raised by our beautiful Gabriella Daughtrey. She raised a hand. And the other thing I gonna just like add up quickly. We are like recording this video. Dave shared like this place, and he talked about transfer factor. We are not saying this product is cure, but this is educating your
of course,
immune system.
of
We are
course.
not saying it's a cure or whatever. It's like even I share that testimony. This is like my own experience, but company is not saying this is cure. This is just educating your immune system. And we have a Gabriella Daughtrey is like raised her hand.
Okay. 1 minute, I'll take it to Gabby. So anyhow, there he is today. A few pictures of him here. All right. Uh, so obviously doing very well. But my point is this: it's true. We don't say that we cure any disease. That's your immune system's responsibility. All right. If you have the flu, dengue, gripe, whatever, and you take vitamin C and that helps you, did the vitamin C cure you? No, your immune system did. It just received some help so that it could do its job. That's what your immune system is supposed to do. You see, that's what makes our product, Transfer Factor, and all of our other products so wonderful, you guys. Health and wellness. What a great thing to be part of. What a great service in educating people, helping people understand how our products bring value to your life with health and wellness. So let me go ahead. If any of you have, Gabby has her hand up. So sweet, I'm going to pass it to you. Why don't you go ahead and finish up for us because we've been 1 hour now, and then we'll close out unless anybody has a story they'd like to share as well.
Well, I want to share a story. I just got off the phone with Jan Brewer. And who's Jan Brewer, sweetie?
Jan Brewer actually was the governor of the state of Arizona for 8 years, and very much a friend of Donald Trump. There's a lot of pictures of her and Donald Trump together. But she was the governor of Arizona for 8 years. Very high profile individual.
Well, anyhow, she has tried our aqua system, and she's been texting me like the last month or so, and I again follow up, right? Follow up. But I finally said, okay, I'm going to call you at this time. I asked her, when's the best time to call you? And she told me 9 o'clock. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'll call you at 9. And she's so funny. She's a funny lady. She said that, I'll tell you later, sweetie. She said that when you went to go visit, she didn't have her makeup on, so she was too embarrassed to come out and say hi. So she was so funny. But anyhow, she said she loved the aqua product, and she didn't realize that the 4-way toner was a toner. And I explained to her why it's a 4-way toner, right? Because it's basically for, a toner for the face, for cleansing, for setting your makeup, for hydrating your face. It's an amazing toner. And, but anyway, I just told her, if you have other skincare that you prefer using, you can incorporate our skincare aqua system with that. And then we started talking about protein powders. She loves the protein bars, and she basically loves our skincare, and she loves everything. So I just told her, I'm a text away, so feel free to call or text me for anything you might need. But she was just funny, and that's basically what I wanted to share, that you just never know, right? There's the common housewife to the Hollywood star like Viola Davis that uses our products. We're human. We have needs. We have immune systems. All you have to do is go out there and share. And even if you don't have a sample, you could just say, hey, I use a skincare. Look at my skin. Yes, we reflect what we use. And for those of you that have used our products for at least six months, you will notice a difference. You will. From our protein to our, I was telling her about our collagen. And I'm like, you have to be consistent though. You have to be consistent. You can't skip a day. You do. Our bottle has I don't have one. I cleaned my area here. So our bottle of product contains an amount that is recommended dose. If it says 2, take 2. Take them at the same time. If it says 4, take 4, because you're going to forget later. Okay. I forget. So just take the product that is recommended on the bottle. And it's for 1 month. The product use is for 1 month. if you're going to give a product a chance, take the dose on the bottle, okay? Because people will say, oh, it didn't work for me. I'm like, well, how many did you take? She goes, I took one. Like, no, the dose says 2. And I had a friend that was going through a medical crisis. And she said, I'm taking all these pills. I only took 1. And I'm like, yeah, but you have a medical crisis. You have to take 20 of them. I'm sorry, but you know, what works for one person will work for the other when they have that kind of medical crisis. So today is December 11th. Raise your hand if you're ready for Christmas. Okay. Good. So what better way to give gifts than to give gifts, okay? My favorite to give to my friends, like from church, because those are basically the only friends I have here locally, are basically shampoo and conditioner. We all need shampoo and conditioner, right? It's a great way to introduce your products, but don't forget to put, if you're going to go through the trouble of giving a product like this for Christmas, don't forget to put your QR codes on the packaging. And I always like to put it on both outside and the box, because that way when they run out, they're like, okay, I got to get more of this product. So if you don't know how to make a QR code, raise your hand and we'll have another training like that, because there's a lot of new people here since I showed you all how to make them. Some of you already do it already, but it's really easy. And I've been trying to figure out a way for corporate to have a way to just push a button on your app and you could make your own QR codes, maybe from maybe address labels. I don't know, maybe having a template where you can print address labels and just use that, because a lot of people would benefit from giving a QR code or even having it available to put on your business card. So think of that. Business cards, physical business cards, use your QR code, okay? And if you don't know how to transfer it from your app to your pictures, we'll have a class for that too. So with that, we love and appreciate your time. And I don't know if we have any questions.
No, thank you, Debbie, very much for sharing your information. Always is valuable. Yes, Jillian is sharing, like, you can print with the Canva. That training we can host one day as a meeting in women's or girls talk. I can say thank you very much for Dave and Gabriela and all the people around the globe in here in today's meeting. Thank you. And because in the starting, we are sharing and we are telling same thing again. This is a model too. We are on a Zoom from globally. Look at Kenya, Canada, USA, and other countries, UK. And we are just a phone call or text away. That's like my mentor or leader or my brother always telling you, you guys have to, we want a change, just click with the one click. And this is like a journey. We are in a journey. This is like a vision. Listen, we is like vision. We're gonna take transfer factor to the world. And if we are looking in the other side, God already give insight in your body. We are just educating. Just education. Education is the key of your life or your journey. And we're gonna close this meeting for recording, who's hosting the recording button, just close it. If we can stay a couple minutes more behind, if you wanna share your story. I didn't see anybody's hand or question in the talk. And just we're gonna close recording and you can say bye, open your mics and send all the love to our mentors and my brother and my sister-in-law. Now I can say Gabriela.
Okay, real quick. We have Girl Talk today too. 6 o'clock Pacific Mountain Time and 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So if you in a different country, do the math or ask Siri or ask Alexa what time that will be in your country.
Or message us where you are finding that Zoom call, Zoom number from Facebook, then we will like calculate ourselves and we send you to. All right. And we are closing this meeting and say bye, and we are ready for